Today we're going to be checking out the King Kong Tiny 7 RTF version. Great starter for FPV. This was sent to me courtesy of gearbest.com, so let's get into the review and check it out. So let's get inside here, and it has a nice little carrying case. This is a very nice case to transport around in. And there you go, you got your RTF version. Nice little foam, keeps your transmitter safe. And the transmitter on this is pretty nice. It has only 2 switches on it, and those are the only ones you're gonna need when you're first starting out. This is the arm and disarm switch on channel 5 over here. So up is disarmed and down is gonna arm it. And right out of the box, this is only gonna fly in stability mode. So you're gonna have to go into beta flight and program channel 6 here. You got a 3-position switch over here on channel 6. I've got mine set right now. Up is channel 1 here is stability mode actually. Channel 2 is acro and channel 3 is air mode. Super easy setup in beta flight. Didn't have any problems with it. And this one is really ready to fly right out of the box if you just want to fly it in stability mode. But if you want to fly acro or something like that, you're going to have to do a little bit of programming. And like a lot of the other King Kong products, this one has a nice little tub that it comes in, and that is definitely nice to keep it safe. And so there we are. It has a yellow body. I don't know why I'm saying green here. Yellow body, just like the Inductrix. And it has a much larger battery lead than your standard Inductrix. Can't remember the name of this plug. And this copper wire here, I believe, is your FPV antenna, and this is your control antenna here for your transmitter. And this is the RTF version, so it'll link up with this transmitter, but this also does come in FreeSky, DSMX, Futaba, I believe, and FlySky. I think you might even be able to buy it without a receiver if you chose to do so. Inside of here, you're gonna have some buttons that you can push to change the channel of your FPV camera. And if you have like a little screwdriver or something like that, you probably can't really see it too well in the camera. Let me see if I can get it close. There's 2 little buttons in there, and they change the channel of your FPV receiver. I believe this is a 8-channel receiver, 16-channel? Can't remember, don't quote me on that. But with me, I usually just find a channel that works for me and fly it. And FPV reception is pretty good in this. Don't have any real complaints about it. I was able to fly it good distance away from myself. And you're gonna notice also this has much beefier batteries, and that comes with 5 batteries in this bag here. I only have the 1. And it is a little bit of a process to stuff this in, but it does fit, and the more you do it, it's gonna kind of be easier to do. So this is a 500 milliamp hour 1-cell battery with a 30C rating. And you do get 5 of these, and they come with this little rubber, kind of like a O-ring to protect your connector here for any shorts or anything like that. So that's real nice. Like I said, it does come with 5 of these. And the way I've been doing it is if I fly a battery, I kind of put it down here to know that I haven't charged it. So that's why those guys are down there. I'm gonna put the quad down here and go back to our tub. So it comes in this pull-out case. And then you also get 3 extra body styles. You get a pink, a white, and a red. That's real nice, so you can customize it if you want. And you also get full sets of corresponding props for each color. And you also get this prop removal tool, which is nice. These are real handy. You get a hold of these, you can use it on almost any of these toy grade quads, so that's real nice. You get this little instruction manual, and it's super basic. It doesn't really help you with anything. Kind of actually found it pretty useless. And then you also get a little bag full of spare parts and whatnot. And last but certainly not least, you get this little charger. So this is gonna give you the ability to charge 5 batteries at once. And you can also plug this into an XT60. So if you got a LiPo and you want to charge it in the field, you can do it that way. Or on this end, I believe this is a micro USB. You can plug it into your micro USB plug it in the computer, plug it in your wall through an adapter or whatnot. It also has these little switches up here. So this is the 500 milliamp hour charger, and then if you wanted to charge 200, which is I believe for the Tiny 6, I believe this is the same charger that comes with the Tiny 6, you just flip the button over to the 200. So you're gonna have to do that depending on which one you're charging. And when you do plug this in, it will have these really bright green LEDs that light up, and when it's charging they light up green and they stay lit, and they shut off when it's done charging. And if you're charging all 5 batteries at once, it's gonna take about 3.5 hours. That's what it took me after I fully expended the batteries. So be aware of that. It might be quicker if you just charged them one at a time. Not sure. So definitely be aware of that. And definitely a fan of this one. So why don't we get into some FPV, little FPV review with it and see how it flies. Let's get it in the air. And let's see what we can do in the air. Let's arm it and let's go up. And while we're up and fresh battery, do some rolls. This one doesn't fly acrobatic all that great, but if you're careful, you can do it. So it rolls pretty good and it does the forward flips pretty well like that, but let's do a backflip. And somehow like these backflips, it always has a hard time recovering from. So I'm not sure if it's the way it's weighted or what. One thing you will notice in your FPV screen as you're flying this around is the bumpers in the front there are much bigger than your Tiny Whoop, and you're gonna see much more of them. Takes up what, like 1/3 of the screen? So if you've flown a Tiny Whoop before, it might take a little getting used to with the much larger body real estate. But if you haven't flown it, it's probably not gonna bother you, but you may notice it and just be, oh, man, it's windy out. I'm only like half kidding about the wind there. It is any little bit of wind and you're gonna feel it in this particular one. So I am still recording, never stop recording in the Fat Sharks. What happened now? Wood chip? Wood chip. That's the one thing with flying in this park. We're on these wood chips. These little wood chips get stuck and then the motor won't spin up. So be aware of that if you're flying anywhere with wood chips. Little tip for you. Little tip about the chip. So I definitely like this one. And going back to acrobatics, so if I climb here and then do something like this, see, it's not gonna recover very well. Sounds like it's hitting something too. Am I hitting one of my antennas? Let's bring it in close again. Maybe not. Maybe with some other noise. What else can we do with this? Roll, roll. Let's go around the tree here. Oop, a lot of video break up there. Did not like that section of the park. Let's bring it in here. We're flying pretty fast. Coming in fast and low. And we're gonna roll under the tree. See if we can go out to these trees here. See what the reception's like. The FPV, not too bad. I'm not really getting any break up here. Let's keep going. See if we can make it to the pavilion. Let's thread the needle between the grandstands here. And through the pavilion. Oh yeah. Oh, big video break up there. Let's see if we can go through the door and out the back and around. Nice, so you get pretty good reception. I'm good ways away from myself there. And I got good control and decent FPV, definitely flyable FPV. Have done some indoor flights. Ooh, let's go under the sign here. done some indoor flights, and to get decent reception in the, I got a 3-bedroom ranch house, and I can fly basically anywhere in the house with decent reception, flyable reception. So just kind of cruising in the park here. And this one's definitely geared toward the beginner. If you have flown FPV or tiny whoops before, you may not be interested in this particular one, but maybe if you just gotta have a lot of FPV quads, maybe this one's for you. Maybe you want to check it out. Let's see if we can go around the dumpster over here. Let's check the specs. And definitely flyable over there. Okay, so we're getting a good flight here, good demonstration. Let's see if we can make it through the slide here. Let's get a little crazy through the arch of the slide. Oh, I made it through clean, but then I hit the railing there, but we're still in the air. Celebration roll. Oh yeah. So definitely a nice FPV flyer, especially if you're just starting out. Can I go down that tunnel, you think? The tunnel slide? Let's get it in here. Oh, totally lost picture. Not sure what happened there. I don't know if I lost the battery or what. Let's see, let's go find it. Oh, I see what happened. You're not gonna be able to see this on the Yi camera here, but my power plug must have slid out here in one of these crashes, and then props chewed it up. So I ate up the one of the power cables there. I think is that the ground, the black one the ground, or is that the power? I think the red one's the power and the black is the ground. So I guess that's gonna be the end of this, but that's definitely a fixable thing here. I'm gonna have to get another power lead for it and solder it on. But I don't know if you can see that. It's supposed to be in this little hole here, holding it out. So a little disappointing end to the flight, but I am gonna fix this and get it back in the air because I'm a big fan of this one. So hope you guys enjoyed this video with the King Kong Tiny 7. I'm gonna show you a line of sight flight. It was actually my first outdoor flight with this one before I'd ever flown at FPV. I'm gonna leave you guys with that, and then I'll probably leave you guys with a little extra FPV at the end. Let's go up. And this one does make kind of like a strange noise. I'm not sure if that's unique to mine or if they all do that, but it does fly super nice, real aggressive, mostly meant for indoor flying and for FPV, but I thought I'd give you guys a little demonstration. It does have a super crazy yaw on it. Look at that yaw. Let me just give you a yaw. I mean, look at that. Let's bring it back. I do have a slight breeze kind of pushing it away from me. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna send it upwind here a little bit. And now the wind's going the other way. Anyway, there's your yaw. Oh, yawed right out of the sky. That is one thing with this particular quad, is that body style will catch some wind, and the wind, depending on what you're doing, if you're flying into it, you should be fine, or if you're flying with it, you should be okay. But if you're trying to do a crazy yaw spin into it, it might knock you right out of the sky. But I like the way this one flies. Has a lot of power, more powerful than your average tiny whoop. It is a tiny whoop clone, obviously. So let's flip it into acro and just see what kind of, so there we go, flip. And let's see if we can make it take off. Nope. So that flip didn't work out so well in my favor. Got stuck a little bit in the grass here. We do look fine. This is the RTF version. There are DSM, Free Sky, and what is it? Fly Sky, and I think a Futaba one also. Let's try that again. I suppose. I'm not much for line of sight acro. So let's do a little flip here. Let's try a backflip. So there we go. Doesn't recover especially well, and I'm not super used to flying acro line of sight, but it does fly heavy. I want to say the battery has a lot to do with that. I feel like this quad could do a little bit better with a lighter battery. I mean, look at the size of that thing. It might balance out a little bit better if you use a smaller battery. Maybe the upgraded tiny whoop batteries would work a little bit better in here. Anyway, that's enough of my line of sight acro stuff. Get a little shot of the Tiny 7 here. There's a yaw test for you. How about that? Pretty crazy yaw for it. And it will funnel pretty nicely. But it's easy to get out of control when you're flying this one pretty aggressively. And it flies kind of heavy. But I definitely like this one so far. I have actually not flown this one FPV yet. I'm gonna be doing my first FPV flight with this one right after this. The nice thing about this package is you get 5 batteries with it. So, comes included, look at that, right into the pole. I didn't even do that on purpose. It's come back to me, and we stayed in the air. So obviously this one flies pretty stable. I thought it had cleared the pole there, and obviously not. So I just got this one yesterday. I flew it in my garage once. This is obviously mostly an FPV flyer, but I figured I'd get the line of sight flight in before I got this one too beat up. So it still looks pretty for you guys. I think we're getting towards the end of our battery here because it's getting a little heavy. I'm not sure if this one gives you any sort of LVC warning or anything. Let's get it right behind, hero shot right behind the sun. The sun's right behind it. You gotta like that. You gotta like the hero shots of these quads. Yeah, I definitely like the way this one flies. Just watching it, it flies real nice. Pretty excited to fly this one FPV. It comes with everything you need for FPV except goggles. This one will fly with the Eachine 007. I get a lot of questions about which quads will fly with those. And obviously, I'm assuming it'll fly with the Fat Sharks. That's what I got with me today, so hopefully it does. But I'm having a blast with this thing. I like this thing. It flies real nice. It is a direct clone of the Tiny Whoop. It even looks like a Tiny Whoop. Or I'm sorry, not the Tiny Whoop, the Blade Inductrix. Yellow, just like the Blade Inductrix, but this package does come with, and I think that's going to be our flight time there. So I'm going to disarm, and I'll have the screen. I have on the bottom of the screen what that flight time was. I'm not 100% sure that this battery is totally charged, so you might get a better flight time out of it, depending. So anyway, there you go. Line of sight flight of the King Kong Tiny 7. Hope you guys enjoyed that line of sight flight, and now I'm going to leave you out on some FPV footage here. And if you're interested in this King Kong Tiny 7, definitely check the link in the description. I think it's definitely an awesome beginner FPV quad. And if you're interested, definitely check it out. You're not gonna be sorry. Kind of a freak accident that I chewed up my power wire here, but I can fix that and get it back in the air, no problem. So let that be a lesson to you guys though. Make sure your power lead is not gonna get chewed up in your props. So anyway guys, see you guys in the next video. Happy flying.
you.